Yo, Kisuri here. We are back with another Verse 99 video. Today we're going to be doing another banner review video, and this time we're going to be looking at this very enticing double banner. A quick note for all the newer players that are joining around this time for the Assassin's Creed collab. This is the Yearning of the Water banner and is often called the quote-unquote scam banner due to how it works. So how this type of banner works is that if it has two characters, or since it has two characters, there is actually no guarantee you will get a specific one. For example, it has Barcarola and Flutterpage as the rate ups. Let's say you really want Flutterpage, you could potentially keep pulling and keep getting only Barcarola. Also, these type of double banners don't share a pity with any of their own double banners, and they don't share a pity with the normal single banners. So once these banners expire, all your pity is actually gone. I have personally never pulled on these double banners, and I usually don't recommend pulling on them unless you are really okay with getting either of the two characters on the banner. Another important thing to mention is that in 2.8, which is after the Assassin's Creed collab, there will be a kind of make your own banner where you can actually select characters up to 2.5 to pull for. So you can make your own Barcarola or Flutterpage banner and guarantee that you will get one of them if you only want one of them. Okay, let's talk about this banner, and wow, this is the worst timing for the players who have been wanting either Barcarola or Flutterpage. Let's talk about Barcarola first. This banner is coming in right after Kipperina's banner, and some people have been looking forward to a Barcarola rerun to complete their impromptu team. If you remember, Barcarola's release banner, it also came at a bad timing, being that it was a sandwiched banner between Flutterpage and Fatutu's release banner, and those two are the best and probably most versatile units in the game. So a lot of people initially had to skip Barcarola for the other two, but now with the release of Olive last patch and Kipperina banner out right now, a lot of people are wanting to make the impromptu team. I won't go into all the details of Barcarola's kit, but she is tied to the impromptu team since her entire kit revolves around buffing impromptu. Is she the most important in the impromptu team? I would say no. I think the core is definitely going to be Olive and Kipperina. Does that mean I'm saying Barcarola is a bad unit? No, absolutely not. It just means that if I were to build an impromptu team or just kind of start one, I would personally try to get Olive and Kipperina before I got Barcarola. And another last thing I want to mention, since it sounds like I'm kind of downplaying Barcarola, is that a team of Olive and Kipperina with Barcarola is significantly better than without her, especially if you're against star weak enemies. Okay, moving on to Flutterpage. So I don't really have to talk too much about her because, you know, she's absolutely cracked out. But basically, Flutterpage is a super versatile unit, and she can be played into most of the upcoming meta teams. She can be played obviously in the follow-up attack team. She can be played in the impromptu team, substituting for Olive if you don't have him, and she will also be able to fit into the upcoming blood type teams and even the dynamo team until they get their dedicated supports. The versatility of Flutterpage to be a great fill-in for so many different teams is what makes her so good and at the top of many tier lists. It seems as though every team in reverse could slot in Flutterpage and Fatutu, and that's all you need for supports. So yes, Flutterpage's value is extremely high. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about who I think should or should not pull on this banner. Let me get this out of the way and say that I personally, again, do not like these double banners and prefer normal rerun banners, so you will never see me recommending or pulling them, but at the end of the day, it's again up to you. Even then, I do not advise pulling now since the Assassin's Creed collab is so close, and if you even have the slightest interest in the Assassin's Creed collab, please just hold off on pulling because this banner will last into the AC collab patch next week. You could pull on the Ezio banner and potentially lose the 50-50 to Barcarola or Flutterpage, so just wait. Barcarola will likely not work with Ezio, but there is a high chance Flutterpage will work with him if you are using his follow attack weapon playstyle. The safest thing to do right now is just wait for the release next week just to see how good Ezio turns out to be. Also, if you plan on getting Ezio, who is a star DPS, you might not even want another star damage team in the Barcarola impromptu team. You might want to save for the upcoming teams in 2.8. There's a ton of reasons to skip this banner just because of the AC collab and the upcoming patches like 2.8, 3.0 characters. They're going to be really amazing, and as amazing as Barcarola and Flutterpages, there is a new wave of teams and archetypes on the way, so just check out those if you are interested before pulling. Lastly, the only scenario where I could consider pulling on this banner is if I already had Olive and Kipperina and I do not have Barcarola and Flutterpage as well. I would also make sure I had enough pulls for what's to come or simply don't care about the AC collab or any future updates. But all in all, this is actually a really good banner for newer players who are looking to quickly power up their accounts, since they could potentially get Barcarola, then Kiparino on the current banner to form a pretty okay impromptu team. Then they could also get Flutterpage and player in multiple teams, including Ezio's team. And I can see this being a very tempting banner for many players, but you know, it is going to likely drain them of a lot of pulls, especially with all the crazy patches we're about to be getting. Hope you guys found this helpful or interesting. I will see you in the next one. Peace.